Funny.
It's finally time to put down your dice, all my fellow feature outlaws, as this is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I am the aka Double G. Back with your weekly recap of that Dungeon Dice Monsters game that didn't seem to have a single dungeon inside of it on the entire map. They really didn't, did they? So as usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up that Patreon if you want to see some more content. Leave a comment telling me if you think your wrist would be broken after so many dice rolls in such a short amount of time. A short time, just like the amount of time the show actually spends on giving us an explanation of what's going on here. I mean, it only took 4 episodes. 4 episodes over this very exciting duel where most turns are just someone rolling and moving so they can attack him, you know, maybe 5 minutes later. Like right now as we watch Yugi put all of his monsters in front of his hard points to defend them from Duke's bovine swordsman. A swordsman that is now enraged thanks to Duke's movement crest, but he seems to be taking a sweet time in getting there.
From my crest pull to move Orgoth the Relentless into attack range. With the magic crest, Orgoth the Relentless.
Seriously, how fucking slow is Orgoth? Duke was talking for about 30 seconds.
Looks like I better get used to the taste of dog chow.
Nice try, Joey. We all know you love that shit on the regular. Orgoth swings his big sword and splits Big Mommy Mom in half, making me realize 2 things while I was sitting there watching. One being that Yugi probably could have just sent another monster into the vortex as well and started pressuring Duke's side at the same time. And 2, holy shit, nothing funny happens in the first 5 minutes of this episode. Like, I'm genuinely disappointed. Duke claims that Yugi can't progress any further on the map because he's boxed him in up himself with his own structure. That while he has done well for a first-timer, there's still no way he could have beaten Pegasus despite the fact that he's actually losing right now. Did you know that this episode is brought to you by the number 2, as it's been 2 full episodes since Yugi summoned the Mighty Mage and he's finally decided to do something with it. He attacks Orgoth, but Duke defends, so he only takes 10 damage from the blow. Also, the Mighty Mage takes damage from the interaction as well. They legit never explain why. Duke says fuck explaining and uses 6 magic crests that he never said he actually rolled, increasing Orgoth's power to a massive 70 attack points, which, yes, in this game, that's a lot. Seeing this strategy, Yugi is reminded of the one thing he desperately tried warning Donald Trump about before he went to the election in 2016.
Without strategy, power's just an empty threat.
Mr. Sexyback orders the Orgoth to destroy Yugi's Mighty Mage, a very useful level 3 monster that he maybe used twice in about 3 episodes. And for some reason, the destruction of this one single monster causes Yugi to go into a deep despair and actually question his resolve.
What if he's right? Dungeon Dice Monsters is a different game.
Dude, it's the same game. You're fine. Duke's cheerleaders go into ultra super hyper annoying mode, causing Joey to put those bitches in their place with a massive friendship speech, telling Yugi that he's always been such a good cheat, that no one can cheat like him, and even the original Game Shark is jealous of his power. Tristan then gives his best impression of your average speech by an American politician.
What he said!
After what has to be at least 5 friggin' minutes of friendship speeches, Yugi has finally hacked into the dueling computer. I mean, he has the courage to roll these dice and go for victory. So of course, with all this hype and build up, our hero's going to have an epic turn, right? He's gonna use those 6 attack crests to override Duke's 5 defensive crests that no one ever talked about, right? Of course, Duke has that red guy stuck in a chest that has a special ability that I forgot to mention for the past 3 episodes, right? I mean, he's not just gonna parry 6 slash attempts from Yugi's monster and then counter with a devastating slash, right? Then after 4 episodes, Duke Devlin finally reveals his identity as a Giga Chad.
I'm only one move away from breaking your heart.
Being the only character on the show that is just as beautiful as Yugi himself, we all knew our hero would have some trouble resisting such a bad boy. Instead, Yugi tries to distract himself by schooling Devlin with after-school special life lessons, saying you should never underestimate the people you're playing against, and giving up is not the answer, especially if you have the cheat. And naturally, because he just gave a confident, impassioned speech, he rolls nothing, and we head back to Duke's turn, who successfully moves forward and destroys one of Yugi's heart points. I'd like to have some talk about the, match flow in this episode, because if Yugi doesn't summon a monster in this next turn, he will have nothing to defend himself, and this game is over.
Millions of gaming fans around the world are glued to the TV.
Bitch, those are definitely bots. Yugi knows of one monster that can save him, somehow, in a game that he's never played before, that he was just worried about 4 minutes ago, saying that he might not know enough to beat the inventor of the game. So how does he know about this monster all of a sudden? Activating Heart of the Cheater at full power, he rolls 2 level 4 summoning crests, but unfortunately can't seem to summon it because Duke has boxed him out of free space with his own structure on the map. What's that? You think I don't have space? Doesn't matter. I'll make this die fold out perfectly onto the map in any way that I want. Yep, it's my first game and I knew how to do that. Also, I hacked into your computer. I looked up shit and I'm about to summon the Dark Magician. Yugi moves his signature bro 4 spaces and wrecks Orgoth easily in 1 strike, forcing Duke to move his Dark Assailant on top of the Zelda chest on the end of his next turn. Remember when he talked about item summoning 33 episodes ago? Yeah, get ready for that shit, because apparently inside this tiny little chest is a giant monster with a fucking cannon on its back called Monster Cannon.
Monster Cannon is a weapon that fires a monster at the enemy instead of a cannonball.
Duke Devlin! Very perceptive. All catapult turtles are feeling really insecure right now as Duke commands the Dark Assailant to load itself into the cannon like some hilarious Nightmare Before Christmas rocket launcher. Unfortunately for Duke, he gave a monster that naturally ended up being the signature creature of a person that he ended up dueling over very significant consequences. Very powerful abilities like magical hats at no cost apparently, allowing him to evade the monster cannon's ferocious attack. Apparently Duke thought it was a good idea to give Dark Magician the same special abilities he has in regular duel monsters, despite the fact that he's a vanilla monster with no special abilities. Almost like making it an epic monster in a game that he created to have to face it down the line. Thinking someone was a cheater was a bit of a bad move on your part. Yugi goes into a pure assault mode, activating the second special ability, Mystic Box. Which according to Duke, he thought he was killing his own monster even though he made the game and no, that's not how it works. No! You know, it may be subtle, but that might be the darkest monster death we've had so far in the entire series. So are we just not going to talk about how weird it is that a hologram just wagged its finger all sassy-like at the inventor of the game? Dark Magician can apparently attack from 5 spaces away, cause fuck it, let's just end this duel. Destroying Duke's final heart point and saving his friend Joy from the clutches of the dog suit that he secretly loved. Duke is mortified, thinking that no one in the world will ever want to play Dungeon Dice Monsters again after seeing that train wreck. The game decides to prop him up either way, even though he was a dick, because they'll know they'll get some of that sweet shareholder profit. The episode ends with Duke getting an email right here, right now, and not in a contrived way at all, from Industrial Illusions saying they want to take his product worldwide. He was a dick for 4 episodes, he was nice for 40 seconds, and now he's rich. What a story. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget that sub and that bell and that like, hit up that Patreon, and leave a comment telling me if you're just as happy as I am to get back to what's really important, motherfucking card games. Tune in next week where we'll be at episode 50, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just now getting into the plot. But I am pretty happy that we're at episode 50. I got a special surprise. Of course, a shout out to all my patrons. I only brought one cat this time. He's not any happier about it. He's gonna claw me. This has been Man for all the girls, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. See ya. Like right now, as we watch Yugi put all of his monsters in front of his hype. He's hype. That while he has done well for a first timer, there's still no way he could have beaten Pega. He attacks Orgoth. Jesus Christ. Destroying Devlin's final heart point and saving his friend Joey from the clutches of the dog suit. Really? Duke is mortified, thinking that no one in the world will ever want to watch. Is that a fucking fly? Did you just land on me during my takes? You bitch.